But where does this energy come from then? The most of the energy, which is invisible, intangible, non-sensorial energy, comes from the space. And this essential energy feeds me. Not only feeds my body, but feeds my soul, my being, my brain, my feelings, my affection, my passions, my enthusiasm, gives me energy to do things, gives me inspiration, ideals. Creativity. So this inspiration that comes from the universal life, which are the universals, they come from space. We could say already that these universals and this energy come from God. It's his emanation. This energy emanates from God. But if you don't want to call it God, you must at least admit that there is an enormous amount of energy all in space, which is invisible, giving source to all the other forms and expressions of vibrations of energy, energetic vibrations. So this guy here, he says that when he feels this need to channel this inspiration, he runs and do it, and he must be very humble. And if you pay attention, all these inspirations that come from the space, most of it, they come from the need to do something good, beautiful, and truthful for other people.
Right. Interesting. This.
Yes, all the good artists, the good scientists. To be good, Richard, is a necessity. To be beautiful and to live in beauty is an absolutely essential element to have a healthy life. Health and beauty and aesthetics are totally connected, correlated, as well as the truth. If we hide the truth, we block the entrance of the energy. Every mistake we hide, that we know, these feelings of guilt we have when we do something wrong, if we hide them, if we cover them up, so we will block the entrance of this energy in ourselves.
We'll pay a big price for this, too, won't we?
We pay.
And I just want to make a quick comment about this, Claudia, that when you're talking about goodness and beauty, when I first came here, I had a lot of difficulties because I come from a relativistic world, North America, where we're debating everything. Well, what's really good, what's really beautiful, and I have my opinion and you have your opinion, and you're not talking about that. You're talking about a universal sense of what is good and what is beautiful, and this is a beautiful aspect of Dr. Keppe's work. This question of the universals, that goodness is not a relative term.
No, and some experiments already show that. For instance, the Western classical music, it's appreciated by all peoples, and they scan the brains where this sensation of pleasure, happiness, or manifest. And they played the Western classic music to Indians and to African tribes that never heard this music before.
And don't explain, there's nothing like that.
The areas of the brain manifested equally as the Western people when they hear the same kind of music. So this shows that it's a universal phenomena. It's an universal phenomena. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, it's very beautiful.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So we could hear the universe if we would not be so alienated and envious. If we would have been tuned and appreciated, contemplating the beauty and the wonders of the universe, we would be able to hear and to see things that now we don't even pay attention and are in front of our noses.
I think this is so beautiful what you're talking about now. I remember listening to, watching a movie about Beethoven. Mozart was very similar too, and they talked directly about hearing the voice of God. They're hearing this inspiration. They didn't pull any punches about that. They weren't beating around the bush sort of saying, well, we sort of feel, and they would say directly, I hear God shouting in my head, Beethoven used to say. He was deaf, but he heard him.
Mozart took everything also from there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
All them. Now, Richard, why some people are able to hear these godly voices and other people don't. What do these other people hear instead?
This is a $64 million question, Claudia, that you're asking now. What is going on? What are we listening to if we're not listening to this?
What kind of inspirations? Yeah. What are we tuning with?
Yeah.
Do you have any guess?
Yeah, I have a few guesses because I have this conflict inside myself, or used to a lot more than today, but I still have it. The idea that, you know what you should do. It's very, very clear, but there's another voice speaking in your head saying, don't listen to that. You're not going to really do. Go over here and do this. So this kind of inspiration coming from other beings, other spiritual presences,
other energy sources,
other energies that are
sources.
floating. This is a fascinating study.
Yeah, this is indeed, because the majority of people are absolutely linked and hooked to negativity, to pessimistic ideas,
right,
to tragic thoughts, to paranoid thoughts, anger, fear, anxiety. All these kind of thoughts are distortions of energy, and they distort our neurons too. So if we have psychoneuroimmunological symptoms.
Good, yeah, perfect translation.
Most of them, they come from this energetic wrong thoughts or feelings or sources.
Are you saying that negativity kind of floats around and waits for us to pick up on it?
Yes.
Ooh, that's...
Yes. And it's much easier to get them. You open the TV, you turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, you read a newspaper, you talk to a friend. Tons of negativity and fear come from their comments or from around us. So negativity and fear is much more fed by people than the realistic optimism. I'm not saying about any alienated fantasies.
Yeah,
I'm
pie in the sky fantasy.
Yeah. I'm speaking about realistic optimism. And so I'm giving you a practical example.
Good.
Jealous people. They do a lot of delirious thoughts, and they are very much linked to this evil energetic sources. They can have abundant kind of ideas that make them suffer and create a big trouble with his or her spouse or friend or lover or whatever. Jealousy is an enormous example, a very good practical example of how paranoid, delirious, an everyday common person can be without realizing that they are being fed by this, by syntoning or tuning.
Oh, that's interesting, Claudia. So it's like if you're a jealous person and you see your partner talking to somebody else in a party, for example, this is common. Then the first thought you have if you're a jealous person is, oh my God, that woman wants something with my husband, or that that guy wants something with my wife. And then the process starts of all the paranoia.
And go on and on and on and on. Goes on and on.
This is a resonance in the universe with other types of thoughts like this, not just coming from...
In the same frequency.
Wow.
In the same frequency. It can start in my own jealousy or envy, but it immediately tunes with all the same frequency.
Yeah.
The thoughts that are in the same frequency.
Right.
And that's probably why people end up sometimes by doing tragic, extreme attitudes against the beloved one. So like, and they destroy their lives.
Yeah, totally. It's like a nuclear reaction. It starts as a small little thing, and pretty soon the graph is just going off the graph, It's like exponentially expanding from one little thing,
Yeah.